And we are live with Faz Radio with 6 viewers here already. That's because they want to see Mr. ForgedInCrypto here. Let's put him in the center. Hello, ForgedInCrypto.
Hey, how's it going, gents?
I think you're muted, Mr. Titan.
I'm not muted.
Okay, you're just quiet.
No,
Okay.
You always tell me you want the first word, so I just hush up now.
Well, this is the Faz show. It's all about Faz, you know.
Did you see the title of the show?
Vaguely, will Faz have a FazGasm about the Gala Collective? I don't know, will it?
The algos are going to have a heyday with that one.
All right.
Yeah. Don't Google that, by the way.
I'm actually in here twice. One as Happy Fun Faz, one as Don't Taunt Happy Fun Faz.
Oh, my God.
He's got a complex. It's okay.
Yeah. All right. So today we're going to learn about the Gala Collective from the Gala Collective person, Mr. ForgedInCrypto. Well, are you a Gala Collective person? Are you just one of many? Are you running the thing? What the fuck?
Well, I am basically putting it together to allow the people to be the part of the collective. Right now,
You'd say you're a steward.
There you go. That's a good word for it. Yeah, I mean, this is something that we've talked about with the DAO shows back in the day. We turned it into the collective because for a couple reasons. One, it's not fully a DAO. And it's also the word DAO kind of has a bad connotation of operation and kind of what they've gone through for some people. The idea essentially is to allow people to be a part of the Gala Games community with assets under control of the collective to earn revenue from that and also have a say in how those are operated. So you can call it a mix between a guild and a DAO and a business, all kind of intermixed into one. So
okay, wait.
All right, good. I confused them already.
Well, no, this is good. This is why we're here, because
I know this is
learn about this Gala Collective. So it's apparently some sort of like communistic capitalistic entity where okay, no. So apparently it's a bunch of people getting together with their NFTs, right?
Nope.
No. Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong again, because I lost it there. Because I heard something about that Gala Collective would be managing assets.
So the Gala Collective is going to manage its own assets to start, right? It's the idea of it managing other people's assets will come as we move down the road. It's a part of what we want to do. But the beginning of it is, and that's why we're running it through Seed Starter to raise funds for it, is because it is going to be a security, essentially, because we're going to be sharing in revenue and whatnot. So we want the collective to, one, own its own assets. And then we're actually going to acquire those assets in a couple of different ways, and we can talk about that. Obviously, if you read the Get book, you'll be able to see the majority of how that's going to happen. And the token itself, which is the GG token, which is good game, type of stuff. Not Gala Games, but good game. It is the GG token, and the people who own that token itself is going to represent their revenue share within the company and the voting rights within the company. So,
okay. So let me see if I can do this again. I'm trying to summarize this in a sentence or two. So the Gala Collective seems to be a place where you can go to perhaps get a hold of an NFT to play in a game.
There will definitely be NFTs where you could come and play. Yes.
And there might be a situation where other people could have their own NFTs, like with the Gala Collective.
Let's look at it in a sense where other people have NFTs. They can do one of two ways. They can either sell their NFTs to the collective and have them be a part there. And then, or down the road, we may need NFTs that other people have, which we can't or do not want to purchase. And we want to be able to rent those out. The idea is to maximize the revenue share for the people itself, but also give them access to certain NFTs that they wouldn't always have availability to. So some people may.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry about interrupting you. So if the Gala Collective had an NFT, they had, I don't know, say this like ancient Santa's sleigh tank or something.
Okay, yeah.
And I wanted to play with this ancient Santa sleigh tank, I'd be able to rent it from you, or from the Gala Collective.
From the Gala Collective, yes. So, and we're working with the Moth because of the way that they operate and how they distribute the NFTs throughout the Mafia. They are helping other people manage the NFTs itself, and we want to use their process to help manage the NFTs within the Gala Collective as well. So you can earn that NFT through gameplay. You can earn it through community action within the collective, whether it be some sort of content creation. Maybe you're doing some work internally, and there's a whole litany of ways that you could also earn that ability to play those NFTs, and not just Ancients itself. We want to have a full gamut of these NFTs for these games.
Well, yeah, I was using that as an example. So if I wanted to play the game, if I had no money and I wanted to get some really cool gear to play with, sounds like I could rent some gear from the Gala Collective and play some of these Gala games as long as I played them. The question I have with that is, okay, fine. So say I made money with this gear that I rented. Do I get, or if I made coins or winnings of some sort, I would get those winnings?
Well, just like in Spider Tanks itself. So if you rent a Spider Tank in right now as a player, you're going to get your share. You get 50% of whatever that earning is already, right? So you're going to have that earning there. Now, the other 50% goes to the collective. If you are an owner of that token, you're going to get a portion of that from the collective in a revenue share.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Interesting. So how do you get shares in the Gala Collective? I mean, it seems to me that, wow, somebody can go in and buy 500,000 shares of the Gala Collective, and then I go rent a tank and I go fight with it, and then I get very little of the money from this tank, and the people with all the shares get everything, right?
If you're playing the tank, you're going to get your share for playing the tank. Right, you're a player. You're already going to get that, whether you're renting it from the collective or you're renting it from somebody else. Like right now, players get 50%. Right.
Okay.
So if you're playing, you're always going to get a 50%. And depending on the game, it may be different, right? Depending on how the structure is and if you can adjust it and whatnot. The collective itself, if we have the ability to adjust those shares, we will give priority to a collective member who's playing the tank as well. So instead of the 50%, maybe he's getting 60% if we could ever adjust it, but you can't adjust it now. So we'll always want to put priority on those collective members playing in the collective as well, if we could.
So let's break this down to simple terms where people can understand it a little better. You take your Santa Sleigh Ancient and you go in and you totally kick ass. And that day you earn $10 in Silk token, right? So what you're saying then is that player gets $5 into their account, $5 goes to the collective account, and then that $5 is split up among everybody who holds the GG token.
Correct.
Okay.
Less expenses, right? So the collective's going to have expenses too, right? So you have whatever employees that are going to be under there doing certain things. Whatever that expense at the end of the road is, it's going to be distributed out. Now, when we're putting it in terms of just a tank, it doesn't make much sense, right? One single tank. But if you extrapolate it over hundreds of tanks in multiple games, or you start looking at large holdings like an ancient Echoes of Empire, planet, that's probably going to have a lot more earnings tied to it that can be distributed to the collective. Or one would say maybe a Citadel.
Okay, so I have a couple more questions.
So to be clear, it isn't based on what you're playing necessarily. So you could be playing Spider Tanks and you're a GG token holder, and you're still going to get your cut out of what the collective gets from the players who are playing Echoes of Empire. So it's not just a very narrow funnel. It
Yeah.
sounds like all these players, whatever they earn, whenever they earn it, like you're getting a cut of the of everybody playing it together.
Correct.
Okay, I have a few questions here because in fact I'm buzzing with a lot of questions. So I'll just throw two in right now and see how you answer them. One, and wait till I get done with the second one.
I played the fifth.
The first one is, if I have, say, a Miranda's homestead, can I give it to the collective or let the collective borrow it? And then me get money from that homestead? And two is, how does the collective actually get this homestead? Do I actually transfer it to your wallet, or do you somehow rent it from me, or how does that work?
So it's a complex question because there's multiple different ways. So if you have your homestead, you have to look at the collective needs that homestead, right? First off, does the collective already have homesteads, and does it need your homestead? Let's say we need your homestead. You can either sell the homestead to the collective, and then you get your money just like you would over OpenSea, whatever. And then we use it. You're not going to get anything from that outside of, unless you're a collective, GG token holder, you'll get revenue from it. If you are if you want to rent it to the collective, again, we have to have the need, and you don't want to sell it to us, but we still need that. The contract would be a rental contract of us, and it basically written in a smart contract of you loaning us that NFT for a time frame, and it would be locked in for a time frame. We wouldn't want it to be, you can just give it to us for, you say 30 days, and then 10 days in, you're like, I want it back, because we need to be able to rely on that for both, management and revenue and that kind of stuff. So we put it in there. Most likely it's going to be on a 30 day, if not 6 month to a year contract, depending on the actual asset itself. The bigger assets will be longer because we need to be able to manage those bigger assets, especially if it's like a homestead, which is going to have a lot of management that'll go into those. So, and from that, you're going to get a portion of the revenue that would be split between the collective and the player. You'll actually get, because it's still yours, you're going to get an extra percentage from that as well from the rental contract.
Do we know what the percentages are right now, or?
It's going to be on a case-per-case basis, right? Like just in any kind of environment, the need itself is going to drive what that would be, and we're going to have our standard that we're going to put out, and we're actually looking for people to be a part of a group within the collective that's going to work on those standards. One is standardized pricing for these NFTs, potential standardized renting contracts for these NFTs. That will be fully public so everybody can see what that looks like. We don't want to make it so it looks like there's some favoritism, because I have a lot of assets. Let's just be honest. Everybody knows I have a shit ton of assets. And am I going to get favoritism because I'm starting this? Well, I don't want it to look like that. I want everybody to see that, if there's 20 ancient tanks out there, ancient slaves that are interested in coming to the collective, I've got 5 of them. Well, who's going to get the ability to send the tank there? Well, it's going to be the person that's going to make it more advantageous for the collective, right? The collective is the one that we want to benefit here the most, because that's going to go to the people itself. So if Faz comes in and is like, you know what, I'm going to donate mine free because I love the collective, and you should, Faz, by the way. And then you know what we're going to say? You know what, we're going to take Faz because he is a very generous person, and he's saying it down here, right, that he wants to give it to us for free. That we'll take it, and everybody else is, they got to come back, and if we need another one, we'll go to other people, and it's it's market control.
Okay, wait, boy, that sounds. Can I give a criticism here?
Of course, I would not. It wouldn't be a Faz Radio without some criticism from Faz. Let's see it.
So
me though.
Yeah, quiet. So that sounds like there's going to be a lot of politics here, because because you've couched a lot of your statements in, well, if the collective decides it needs it. Well, if this is the direction that the collective wants to go, and if this and if that, and I kind of feel like the collective is going to be kind of calling the shots here, and it's less about just the first glance. It feels less about me just going in and being able to just have fun with the collective, and more about what can I do for the collective. The collective's like, well, what can you give me? No, we don't need that. Fuck you and your stupid ass tank. No, we don't need that shit. Give us that big, huge ancient that you have. Oh, you want to make money with that? Sorry, no, we can use it better. We'll give you a little piece of that. So that's what I'm kind of getting from this, and I'm hitting that side on purpose because this is what a lot of Gala conspiracy nuts do. Okay, I mean, just if we had Lycan on the show, he'd be tearing that with a new asshole. Okay.
I mean, I kind of understand what you're saying, but I already know that there's a lot of interest in people bringing their assets to the collective in the fact that they want to be able to either sell their assets so somebody else can use them. I had people today, just when they found out that we were doing this podcast, message me saying, hey, I'm interested because you know what? I've got these assets sitting here and I'm not doing anything with them. I'm not managing them. I've got 100 tanks that are just sitting here doing absolutely nothing. Like they're not taking the time. Well, again, you can sell them to us, or if you don't want to sell them and we need them, then we'll produce a rental contract that's going to benefit you and the collective.
And we need them. See, that's the part that I'm getting. So right. And so
I can't take an asset into the collective, or the collective can't take an asset in there if it's not needed. It's wasting.
I guess I don't know the criteria for what need is. It's like, are you just looking to satisfy the players you have, or I would think if the collective gets big enough that it would need everything it could get, not just we only want 10 homesteads. That's all we're doing right now.
Well, okay, so then you're talking about a game that's not going to be playable / earnable for 12 months, 18 months.
Well, I'm assuming that the game is running right now. That's all.
Right. So you have a couple facets here. One is you have games that are earning currently, right? And people are going to want to look at those games. Let's take Spider Tanks again because it's one of the ones that's earning that we all know. So you have multiple assets within that game that are earning. You have your planets, you have Spider Tank nodes, and you have tanks, right? All three of those have an earning potential. So the collective itself now, and I'll get to this part too. So the idea is the collective wants to earn revenue, one, so it can fund itself to move forward because it's not being done for free, right? There's people that work through the collective. I've been funding this for over a year and a half now. Just the ideas and the employees to put together white papers and marketing stuff and different things that are going to happen. So there is operational costs that have to be done. So in order to do that, you have to produce revenue. Without revenue, that doesn't happen. So that's part of where you need to have some revenue that's coming in. So you need games that produce revenue, i.e. Spider Tanks. Now there's going to be games that people love.
Is this a non-profit or is this a for-profit company?
All revenue, every bit of revenue that goes through gets distributed to the GG token holders. So that is profit, but it's the revenue share through the GG token.
So just having a lot of these tokens gets you a big share of revenue.
Correct.
But not the NFTs themselves, which is, I thought, a focus of the collective.
So you have to have NFTs to earn, correct?
To earn silk and
whatever, name a game. Yeah. So you have to have NFTs to earn. So obviously you have to have those NFTs, whether it is owned by the collective or if it's going to be a rental contract with somebody.
So where's this Gala? Does GG coin come in? What's that do for me?
So it gives you revenue share, your portion. So say you own 10% of all GG tokens that are out there, you're going to get 10% of all revenue distributed to you. And you're also going to get voting rights. Now the voting rights are a one wallet system. So however many tokens you own in a wallet, that one wallet gets one vote.
Wow. So if you get some rich people in this collective, they can pretty much get all the votes and all the money from the collective. I'm just throwing it out there. I mean, I feel like if I were to join the collective and I'm not one of those rich people with all the votes and all the money, that I'm going to have a very, very small voice.
Well, so the rich people themselves have to do a couple things, which they could. They have to push them all into multiple different wallets, right? So you can have 100,000 GG tokens in one wallet. That's one vote, right? Or you take 100,000 GG tokens and you spread it through 100,000 wallets, and then you have to vote with all 100,000 wallets. Then yes, you'll get 100,000 votes. Does that make sense?
That's weird. Okay. It was still
Well, what's weird?
The revenue
Weird.
share is the revenue share the same way? Is it per wallet or is
No,
it per
revenue
coin?
share is per token.
Okay. So if I have
Per
100,000
coin.
tokens, I'm going to get a larger
Mhm.
revenue than somebody with 10 tokens.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the next question is, what am I spending? What are these tokens used for?
They're used for distribution of revenue and voting rights.
So they're not used for you can't buy tanks with these tokens or rent tanks with it.
Nope.
I would think that'd be great if I could rent it.
So there are things that we're looking at implementing itself, which would be internal with the collective itself, which is going to be more of a database token. We're going to have internal tournaments. We're going to have games internally that we play that people can earn this internal database token, which we don't have a name for yet. It's similar to what the Mafia is doing, right?
Mafia uses the cred. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm still stuck on this token thing. So you're buying voting rights then if you're just buying a bunch of these tokens.
And distribution rights. You own, it's like stock. You own a piece of the Gala Collective. And after
so this is actually a piece of the Gala Collective?
It's revenue. It's revenue share. Revenue share.
Okay, so revenue share is not actually a piece of the collective.
Right. You can't sell you can't sell the share of a company itself. It only shows your distribution of revenue share.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So revenue, voting rights. Two things.
It is being offered as a security through Seed Starter. So that is how this is getting started. So in order to indicate interest at this point, going to Seed Starter, we'll have a link that we'll put in the description here. You can indicate interest. Right now that's not a commitment or anything. If you put that amount in there and it comes time to do the funding and you decide if something happens, goes sideways in your life, you hit an aardvark with your ATV and need to buy a new ATV, and you only want to put half of what you originally did, you do that. But this is an indication of interest just to see out there who's interested in these tokens.
Correct.
And then once the funding round comes, these are going to be issued as securities.
Correct. At the end of the funding round, and they'll all be issued in a token. So these are tokenized securities. So that's kind of the new. Mm-hmm. That's why Seed Starter is doing this. They allow that ability to turn that token into a security, the fundraising portion of it, and so the token itself then can be distributed at the end of the funding round.
So so we've talked about NFTs. We've talked about these tokens that you're actually buying a revenue share. Is it better to have an NFT to rent it through the Gala Collective or rent it to the Gala Collective, or is it better to just buy tokens? Because I mean, who would give NFTs to be used if all you really need to do is buy the tokens?
They
to get revenue.
People can.
So
you can do it any way that you want to do it. That's the beauty of it. If you want to play a game, or if you get bored with a game, you don't have to play it. You still
I'm thinking everybody's
tokens.
just going to want to buy the coins, and nobody's going to be putting any NFTs in because the coins will make you more revenue than renting out an NFT to the Gala Collective.
So let me throw this out. Real quick. So when we talk about the first funding round that Titan just talked about, right? That's to create. Ultimately, we're trying to bring a cash infusion in, which is going to help fund the operations, right? The second one that we're working on with Jesse is another funding round because there's 21 million tokens for the GG Collective, right? Or the Gala Collective.
Just like Bitcoins.
Just like Bitcoins. Bitcom. Just like Bitcoin. I don't know if you saw that. That was fun.
Oh my God, that was hysterical.
What was that, Maxine Waters?
Maxine Waters.
Oh gosh, these people are idiots. But so the second round that we're working on, because it has to be a different type of funding round, is people that have assets that want to trade their assets for the token. So we're going to do that as well. So instead of you saying the Gala Collective is going to buy it with cash, it's going to be like, you're going to trade me your ancient sleigh for 5,000 GG tokens. That type of situation. So that's the second way we're going to be able to acquire assets as well. So with cash, if we get enough cash, we'll use the cash to acquire assets as well, because we definitely want to be able to play the market that's out there and acquire different assets at good prices for the collectives to be able to earn. So essentially what we're trying to do is what I've been doing with Black Harp for the last 2 years in terms of earning potential, management of our assets. And when I say Black Harp and ForgedInCrypto, my assets as well. The earning that's come through those is create the collective where other people can do what we've been able to do and earn at least a portion of that. So, and with higher end NFTs that not everybody can have access to.
So is the Gala Collective going to be built on Gala Chain?
Well, you can't build on Gala Chain. There's no way to build on Gala Chain yet. But the hope would be yes. So, if we get access to that, then 100% we would want to build on Gala Chain. I mean, the whole collective itself is built for Gala to bolster the community of Gala and to put the games front and center. And if we can build on the Gala Chain, fuck yes. Sorry.
So
are we allowed to cuss on this?
Yeah, we've been cussing already.
Essentially, then, is we're getting the Gala experience without having to deal with Gala the people. We just have to switch that mentality into, hey, we're playing in this ecosystem with our fellow community people instead.
Yeah, I mean, the community is the best part of Gala, man. The games are great. There's some good games, but the community is. I love a ton of these people. That I've met some great people in this community, and it's fun to play the games with them. And that's ultimately what we're building it for. So
why be limited to just Gala?
So that's been asked before, and the reason we want to push it forward, and it potentially may not just be limited to Gala. Again, let's talk about the timeline of this. So we go through the funding round, which is going to end at the end of the year. December 31st, it ends. Tokens will be issued after that. So we go live next year, right? We're going to have a 12-month roadmap of, putting people in place, assets, getting the management going, the earning potentials, showing what that's going to be, the distribution. That's all it's centralized to a point, right? There's people that are
going to vote in the officers, right?
And at the end of that 12 months, there's going to be a 90-day period where we vote in officers and positions within the Gala Collective to move it forward. So right now, we're starting it up. Black Harp, ForgedInCrypto, a bunch of people are working for me. They're going to be pushing it forward. They're going to be, running the same aspects they've been doing for me for, the last couple of years. And then at the end of that 12 months, they can vote in whoever they want. Somebody goes, well, what if somebody came in and they wanted to vote in Eric Schumeyer as CEO, Schreimeyer? And I said, well, if he puts his hat in the ring and wants to be there and people vote him in, then guess what? He'd be the CEO, because that's going to be what happens. It's going to be up to the people that own that GG token that have the voting rights to be able to vote the people in those positions. And then it moves from there. Are they going to come in and say, when we have the ability to expand into different games, people will put up proposals that they want to have done. And maybe one of the proposals is, hey, we really love EVIO, and we really want to have a play in EVIO. It's not Gala, but it's a good, fun game. We really like it. We want to expand into it. Well, if they vote to do that and they have the cash and the treasure chest and everything else like that to be able to push forward to that, then they'll do that. They're going to be their choice. So
it sounds like this is kind of what we all envisioned Gala originally being like, except it's kind of off to the side now.
Not me.
No, I don't know if I envisioned Gala exactly like that. Not fully, showing that route. I definitely saw way more than what they currently have in terms of, some actual say in what is happening. They kind of gave the vision that might happen with node votes and stuff, but we've seen that hasn't really come to fruition. This is definitely on the far end of allowing people to have a say of where this is going to go, for sure. So,
So isn't Gala also going to be doing renting with its games and so on?
I don't know. Are they
Well, yeah, that was a
renting
softball question there.
renting of their games?
No, renting of NFTs in their games.
That's what they do already, right?
Well, yeah. So how?
I'm not understanding your question. Maybe I'm.
So if Gala is doing
on the head.
renting of NFTs in their games, how is the Gala Collective different?
So okay, wait? We've been on here for a half hour. I thought we just ran over the entirety of how this is going to operate. If Gala is already renting their NFTs, they have NFTs. You're saying Gala itself has NFTs, and they're renting those to people. Is that what you're saying?
Gala is facilitating renting of NFTs, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. So how is the Gala Collective different than Gala Games' current method of NFT rental?
Well, we are utilizing Gala Games' rental pool. The collective is. So we own the assets and we are renting them out through the Gala Games platform.
So So I can actually be in the game, is what you're saying, and I can rent a Gala Collective NFT in the game, just like I would say in Spider Tanks, where I can go and pilot somebody else's tank.
Yeah.
So I'll be able to do the same thing in the game with the Gala Collective. Okay.
Correct.
Does that mean
unless we've already?
Does that mean the Gala Collective is integrating in with Gala's APIs to make it so that your NFTs can be rented out in such a way, or is it just going to be one account? How's that going to work?
It's going to be multi accounts. So just like we do now. I mean, I have multiple accounts that rent out NFTs, so I don't just have one account. It's the ability to be able to take different games, different places, different assets, and have people utilize them. Again, it depends on do we have a multitude of assets and we just have to put it into a pool with Gala to where people select it, or like most of the stuff we do now, we have the assets that we need that the Mafia right now is helping me out with Spider Tank specifically to push those to certain people. Titan, you got a question?
Yeah. So I know it might be digging in a little bit too deep yet, but I think the first question that came to mind when you were talking about that people might have, because I just had the question, if I want to be a part of that collective and I want to go and grab that tank and go play with it, am
Correct.
I going to have to buy a Gala Collective drop pod in order to do that, or how is that all managed?
No, that's all managed internally in the collective itself. So if you are a part of the collective and you are, again, I would implore people to go and join them off, right? Join their Discord. If you play Spider Tanks, see how they distribute their tanks and how they have their competitions, because we're going to run it very similar. It'll be different, right? Because they have their own thing going, but they're going to help with the collective stuff moving forward. But it's the ability to manage it, and give it to certain people that have either earned it, right? And we don't want to just give it to willy-nilly anybody else, right? Again, we're looking at revenue share too. So it's a balance between people that play enough, people that are good at playing, and then also people that are a part of the community that are actually contributing, whether it be through internal games through the Discord, or, maybe they're doing stuff through social media, that kind of stuff. So.
Nice.
Did that help out at all? Faz was totally confused.
That did. No, that did, because that's a big worry with people. I mean, there was just another drop pod sale for permanent drop pods that were $200. And if you're talking about, coming into the collective, people might be thinking, well, geez, I'm going to have $500-600 in my pocket just to rent a tank.
Well, I don't think I got my question completely answered. Basically, I was wondering why I'd want to go with the Gala Collective rather than just rent a tank in game. That's all.
You can do that.
So what's the difference between the two? That's one. What's Gala Collective bring that the current Gala Games rental system does not do? Sounds like Titan had
Okay.
gotten from you that
Are
you wouldn't
you talking about
need to have drop pod in spider tanks.
Yeah, maybe I'm just completely confused about
I
your
don't
question.
understand your question either, Faz.
Why rent a tank through the Gala Collective versus just doing it in the game from any old schmo with Gala's interface? I'm trying to figure out.
Hold on. Are you the player that is going to rent the tank, or are you the person that has the tank that's renting it? What are you asking?
Okay, let's say I'm a player that wants to rent a tank. I want to play with a tank. I want to get a tank. Well, in Spider Tanks right now, I could just go in the game right now and just go pick a tank that I want. I could be a pilot of these tanks. So why would I want to join the collective if I can already do that in the game? What does being a member of the Gala Collective get me that not being a member?
Gotcha. So again, I'll implore you to go to the Moth, look at kind of the games that they play internally, not just the Spider Tanks games, but just the community that they have. They have their own internal cred token. They've got their own NFTs. They do a bunch of different competitions that they have. It's a community, right? This is the collective. It's a community that we're building, right? We want you to be a part of this, to play in competitions that we have, talk in our Discord, have everything that's going on here, create teams, learn who's playing here and where. It's about the community itself that's there. Like, you want to be a part
of social experience.
100%, right? If you want to play a game and you want to play with the social experience that it is, that's what we want to bring. We want to bring that really positive community together. Did that answer your question?
Perfectly. That's what I was looking for.
Ooh. All right, I'm so confused.
I see a ton of questions along the side.
Yeah,
is there?
I'm gonna go down these real quick because Q Valpo, I know who he is. He's an Oregon fan, so I like him. So I'm gonna answer his question. He goes, will the collective be looking to bring on founders nodes once they become NFTs, or is it strictly game NFTs? No, 100% we're going to look at nodes. Founders nodes, Spider Tank nodes. Again, it's going to be something that we feel is going to benefit the collective, whether it be through revenue, whether it be through the ability to have drop pods, right? So we can rent out tanks. All those different aspects are going to come into play. So nodes, and if you read the Git book itself, I know there's a lot in the Git book, but it also shows a few other things that we're looking to potentially get into. We want to get into actual games that the collective could potentially own part of. That's in the game plan. We've talked with certain people both in Gala and outside of Gala that have games that are potential that we want to bring in to be a part of the collective itself. Some are just for social aspect and to have fun with. So, and then others are potentially for revenue share. So,
well, I certainly like the revenue sharing opportunities that are here, even with the NFTs. I would certainly like the idea of renting NFTs to the collective so that I can get a share of what it can earn.
Yeah, for sure.
And also, my NFTs will give the collective an advantage. And it sounds like there's a social advantage too. If I have, say, a town or a citadel or something like that I can give to the collective, it sounds like there's an angle that I can get that I couldn't get from just playing the game just by myself at Gala Games.
Seeing that, and you're touching on it as well too. So that gets into like assets that are not as obtainable, right? Maybe you have, like you said, some homesteads or some larger Mirandas. So maybe you have a Grand Citadel, or sorry, not a Grand
potion
Citadel.
Shop. Those are pretty rare, right?
I don't know. Are they?
Potion supposed to be.
Great. So maybe you have a potion shop, and you want not just the fact that you can have it be managed by the collective because we have the group of people that are with us that can, be a part of that, but also, you get the social aspect, and then you get the fact that if we are bringing the community there, your revenue share or the revenue you're going to get from that is potentially going to be higher. There's a lot of benefits on that end, especially when you look at the management of these assets is not easy. Especially the more that you get, right? So if you have one tank or 10 tanks even is fairly easy for one person. And if that's all you have, right? You can do that. You can send them out. You can put them up, let other people run them, or if you know people, you can manage that yourself. It's really simple. Maybe you can't. Maybe you have a full-time job and it's difficult and it's just sitting there. This is the opportunity to allow the collective to be able to help that out. So
that's
these
what I'm looking for.
NFTs can be earning 24 hours a day because different people can be running these while you're at work. McCarthy, in a recent Mirandus AMA that they put together, he made it very clear, and I think a couple people were shocked by that if you own a potion shop, Faz, and you aren't playing the game, you'd better find somebody who could stand in that potion shop and sell those potions, because this is just like real life. So this gives you that opportunity. You can run one part-time to play the game. If you have multiple, you can have other people running them 24 hours a day, and they're contributing to the collective, which everybody gets a piece of that has the GG token, including yourself.
Yeah, I have a few different shops, and I quickly realized that in order to run these, either I needed to be online 24/7 or I needed a bunch of friends. So I'm certainly going to be interested in the Gala Collective because I need the friends.
Yeah. Well, and
I just need friends.
Yeah, we all do, man.
That doesn't mean you're guaranteed people are gonna like you, Faz. They're just gonna take your assets.
Yeah, they're gonna friend you like on Facebook, right? They're that's the only way they're friends. No, I think the potion shop's a great example. I have talked to McCarthy about that same thing, and there's multiple reasons why. One is, if somebody puts a potion shop down, maybe they pay the rent of that potion shop, but they don't manage it, so people can't use it. Well, that's great. That Citadel or that land that it's on is getting that rental from it, but they're not getting the players to be able to utilize it because they're not managing it. So they don't want that potion shop there. They want it gone. They want somebody that's going to bring maybe a blacksmithing shop in there that's going to actually utilize it, run it, and actually create this environment where the people are going to play.
Well, and just hitting on the Mirandus thing as well, it's well known, and I don't know if people have internalized this, but there's not enough spaces for all the NFTs. You're going to have competition to get your particular shop or whatever it is into a space, because it's only about 90% from what I remember hearing. There's going to be 10% of NFTs there's not going to be any room for. They don't want people just parking in a spot and ignoring it. If you're not producing, you're out of there.
I have a feeling that there's some games that are going to be played with certain NFTs, and we'll use the potion shops because they're supposed to be rare. Also the stables. There's one person right now that owns the majority of the stables. If that person keeps them out of, I mean, they might want to be paid to keep them out of circulation so that the existing stable owners can make as much money as they are. In that case, it would be helpful to be a member of the Gala Collective.
Yeah, Dimology says, I understand the social part of the collective, but if I have 100 of assets and want to make money on them, I would just go with the option that gives more percentage of rental price. And 100%, if you want to manage those yourself and earn that higher percentage, then that's 100% do that. Like that's, we don't want to own every single asset out there. We know there are thousands of NFTs out there that are not being used and are not going to be used because people just have them sitting in wallets because
they're busy.
They don't have the time. They don't have the ability to manage it. They're just too busy, right? They liked the idea of it and they realized, holy crap, this is going to take a lot more time and effort than me just owning it and setting it in there and not doing anything with it. So that's, again, the collective is going to have a full management team to be able to do that, per game. Like it's not just a, one person for the entirety. So Titan.
So I've got a very contentious question. So we know that the collective is going to be collecting this revenue, and they're going to be paying it out to players. Is the collective going to be viewed as a nasty extractor?
Maybe. I mean, the reality is, there's going to be expenses that have to be paid. So they're going to mint what they need, and then they're going to mint and distribute revenue when they vote on wanting to distribute that revenue. Right now, we have it on a quarterly basis that the revenue wants to be distributed or be put into different assets, right? That might be voted on upon as well. So
right, but the whole premise that Gala has been pushing with honor systems and everything else, and especially with people pulling those assets out of the Gala ecosystem, which technically not really, sort of, kind of.
I have a comment about that.
Is pulling that out. Is a level of cooperation going to be needed with Gala in order to make that work? And if not, how is Gala going to view this?
I want to throw in something really quick. I have a feeling that the Gala Collective might become a force to be reckoned with, and that Gala might be forced to talk to the collective to achieve some of its goals. Continue, Nate. I just wanted to throw that in.
Well, we don't want to force anybody to do anything. Really, if you look at what we're doing now, we're managing these assets internally with the limitations that have already been put on there. So it's doable, right? But one of the things that it is there's a lot of, revenue that's just sitting in wallets that we haven't minted because, of the limitations that are put on there. The hope is, let me ask you this. There's two reasons why people think they put on the limitations. One is, and this is the negative side, they think they put the limitations on there so they can just dump on all their followers, right? Or not all their investors. The others is they put the limitations on the withdrawals so it doesn't just drain the system regardless because it's such a new game, right? And there's not enough players to actually run the economy correctly. If the collective does what we want it to do, right, and brings the people in there and has the positive environment, with the amount of people that's there, we are going to bring the players as well. Like there's multiple different aspects, not just the Gala games that's there. We're bringing in a lot of different, just fun things that bring the people together. Gaming's not just about playing the game, right? When you play games together, it's about the people that you're with, right? And it's about the different internal competition. Shit, Clucky Bird, right? Or Clucky, whatever the hell it is. Plucky nothing. What the hell's the damn game?
Plucky Clucks.
Plucky Cluckers. Get plucked.
I'll cluck you.
Look at that game. I think it'll be successful, right? You're gonna have this. You're gonna be playing Flucky Bird, and you're gonna fly that thing around, and you're gonna be like, "Look, I got a 1,000 score," and you're gonna post it on your Discord and show these people, and they'll be like, "Screw you! I just got this score over here." And there's a competition that goes on there that has nothing to do with the actual earning in the Gala game side at all, but it's a community aspect that's there that I think is missing right now that we really want to bring back now. And that's why, again, in talking with Tim, he's an integral part to what we're doing because he and Drew and all the Moth over there have created an awesome environment and an awesome community that we 100% want to emulate and or bring over 100% into the collective itself. So.
Well, and Faz kind of cut me off with his "oh, by the way" at the end of that. The crux of the question I'm asking is, so you have this collective and you have all these players that are playing, and you're collecting this big treasure chest, right, of, let's say, silk tokens, and the GG token holders are eventually going to want a payout on that. The Gala Collective is going to take an honor hit when that happens. So the entire community that plays after that is going to have to deal with that consequence because that wallet that holds those 30 tanks is now going to have very little earning potential. How does that factor into the plan that you have? How are you going to manage that? Is it going to be like on a float system? You're hoping to have enough of a treasury built up to where you can make payouts without having to kill the honor? How's that going to work?
Well, honor can be earned in a few different ways, right? Not just you play the game, it's running nodes and that type of stuff. And there's a rotation game that you can play within the Spider Tanks realm that allows you to, take silk out to liquidate and to utilize for other things and or use for parts and whatnot without Yeah, you'll take an honor hit, but then you can, build that honor back up. You don't have to take it down to 0 every time. And it actually does work if you are able to utilize multiple wallets in a sense. So, and it doesn't destroy the price of the Silk token. And I'll say that because I was a very high earner of Silk, taking out Silk for a long time frame before this recent giant dip in the actual market, which was more of a factor of spider tanks not implementing more syncs into the game and different gameplay than it was people just extracting from the game. The actual system that they had, while it did work to maintain the price that was up there and still allow you to actually pull some of your Silk out. And this is all stuff that we can show, how we utilize this internally with our current process.
That's interesting. So this actually sounds like this rotation game can be done by other people as well.
Sure.
But sounds like you need a fair amount of capital to do such a thing.
I don't think you need capital. It's just you need to be a little bit more diligent with understanding, how much Silk you're allowed to take out, showing how much your hit's going to be, knowing what you're doing the next days, who's playing. Again, if you're managing it yourself and you're not able to rotate to people to play all the time on these tanks, you're not maximizing the utility of the tank either, right? So there's a lot that goes into it.
Doesn't Gala Games have a rule against having multiple accounts?
They have a rule for multi-accounting that it is I don't know the exact of it, but something about multi-accounting. They know I'm multi.
You can't do it for earning though.
No, and I think what it comes down to is they implemented the multi-account issue when people were taking advantage of Townstar, right? That was, I think, when it first came through and people were making multiple accounts, sending NFTs across from one account to another, right? We have multiple accounts that are literally just, they have tanks that sit in them. We don't send stuff back and forth. It's that is its own account. So, I mean, I've publicly said it into the Discord a couple of times of how I'm operating, and they haven't had an issue with it. So I'm not extracting, or I'm not taking advantage of the situation, if that makes sense, right? I'm not earning. You can't do it anyway. Like, I'm not taking a tank, sending it somewhere else to earn on that tank like you could with Townstar, if that makes sense. So
it does.
You're not gaming the system.
They only don't want multiple. I'm not gaming the system. Yeah, I'm playing under the rules that they've set forth, right? I just have the multi-account because I just have different assets on the account. I'm not sending them to different accounts themselves. So, if that makes sense.
What can people do today to get involved with the collective?
Well, one, I would go to the Discord itself and, ask questions when you have it there. You guys can link it in here. Just start there to be a part of it. We're going to need people to help with, moving the collective forward, right? We have, right now we're working on some marketing stuff that we're going to start to implement. There's going to be more people that we're going to need for management, asset management itself. If you have other skills that are in there, hell, if you just want to be a part of the collective to play, if you want to come in and be a part of the community, if you want to, start to run some tournaments, and there's so many things that can happen. Come to the Discord and start that the conversation that's there. You'll see as we move forward here, there'll be a lot of things that we're going to start to implement, and that's where you'll see a lot of it happening. So, and then if you just want to get involved by owning the Gala Collective token, the GG token is, go to the seed starter page and show your interest.
Will this token be traded on crypto exchanges?
If they put it on there, we have no desire, we are not going to do any type of, again, this is purely for revenue share and for voting rights. So if somebody decides to set up their own liquidity pool because they want to, they can. If it gets big enough and an exchange wants to have the token and have it on their exchange, they're going to have to buy the token themselves. We will not be putting this onto an exchange. Again, we're not worried about the actual.
I'm sorry. Is this an ERC20 token that we'd be keeping in our own wallets if we chose to buy in?
So Jesse and I are talking, but he wants to run it through the XRPL right now.
Good choice.
Which is fine. It actually makes sense for us unless we can get it on the Gala chain, which I'd love to do that. Being a Gala, the Gala Collective itself, that would be fantastic. And also integrating into their wallets itself. I'd love to be able to work with their team and do that type of stuff. That would be my first and foremost. Brink's back from the Philippines now, so I'm definitely going to be diving in and chatting with him a little bit more to see what we can do. But having it on the XRPL makes it so it's a little bit harder for people to try and, bridge in and out, do this kind of stuff. And it's solely for us to use it as a revenue share and a voting right.
Okay. One important question, because this seems to happen with a lot of crypto projects, and hopefully, well, I'd like to see what your response is. Is there going to be a share of tokens that go to the founders or developers or whatever, like all these other crypto projects have?
No. The tokens are going to be distributed by, at least I don't think we have it on there. I should better check. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure we don't have it going to founders because there's no founders a part of the collective itself that are pushed out there. So the token itself, there will be an amount that's owned by the collective that will be used for distribution to people that are giving services to the collective, where they're doing marketing stuff, or maybe we run competitions and we'll use those as rewards. There will be, again, I told about trading for different assets that are out there in fundraising rounds that'll be able to go through there. So people can earn it in different ways, not just by buying it, because some people they don't have $25 or $50 that they want to go through and go through the seed starter round, and we want to be able to have as much of the community as we can. So come in and play in the tournament and win some of the GG token, and then be an owner of that token and be a part of the community. So
okay,
very cool. Do we have any other questions from our listeners that we need to go through?
I see Demology says, I think, did he ask about which token the revenue will be distributed? Did you answer that one already? Let's see, can we pop that up?
So revenue we want to distribute it into US as USDC on a quarterly basis. So stable.
Awesome choice.
Nice. Well, I think I've hammered Nate enough with all this stuff. I was actually trying to ask the questions from an ROI boy point of view, and not really mine. My point of view is I like the idea of getting friends to help run my town. But I know a lot of people are going to be interested in certain aspects of it, how they're going to make money with it. What's the whole structure? How's that set up? What are you really doing? Oh, you're buying revenue shares, and so on. I wanted to make that clear of how it was set up. I have a feeling that I heard Titan talking to you pretty deeply about your system of accounts and stuff like that. I have a feeling that might eventually change after a while if Gala supports things in a way that we'd all like.
Hell yeah. I would love to be able to build on the Gala chain. I mean, they've already stated that I'm going to get one of the first validators, right? That was publicly stated. Great. I want to run a validator. Let me have access to the chain. It's been open out there that I want to build a marketplace for Gala chain. We actually have a team that's ready to build. The moment we get access to their to the chain itself, we have a full team that wants to build a marketplace. Now, let me be clear here. I'm building that, but I want to sell a portion of that to the collective if the collective wants to buy that. So then there would be another revenue potential earning from that.
What's this about a validator? How do you get a validator?
You don't. You have to ask for it. I asked for it.
So what's the Gala chain validator?
Well, Gala chain, they're running validator. People are running validator. Well, I shouldn't say people. They have validators that are running, but essentially when you want a decentralized network, you want a decentralized network ran by people that are a part of the community or just
I want a validator. How do I get one?
You don't, man. You don't.
I don't, because I'm not rich and powerful enough.
No, well, nobody gets a validator right now, right? Nobody gets a validator. They have their own. I think they're running them internally, right? So they can do all their testing and make their chain and whatnot. But at a point in time, they're going to have to distribute those validators out so you can actually have the public that can start to build on the actual chain with the and show what's actually happening. Because right now we have the, their version of their block explorer, right? But we don't actually see. There's nobody that's telling us where this data is coming from, because nobody's actually that we know is running a validator, right? You can't go and say, hey, nerd node, you're running a validator. Do you have a block explorer this is running off of?
I thought the Gala nodes, the founders nodes, were supposed to be doing all this kind of validator stuff.
You thought wrong.
Well, what the fuck does a Gala node, founders node do then if it doesn't validate transactions? I thought that was the whole point.
It looks pretty on your desk.
Printer goes burr.
Maybe it will. Maybe it will. I mean, we don't know yet. I mean, that'd be great. Give me some, utility with that thing. That'd be fantastic.
Let me guess that they're going to want to sell these validators, or are they just going to give them away? We don't know.
I think they're going to give them away. I think they're going to give the opportunity to people to be able to run a validator by staking Gala. That's what I think. I think, and much like you do with Ethereum, you have to stake 32 Ethereum to run an Ethereum validator node. So they're going to say you have to stake 100 million Gala to run a Gala node, or a Gala validator, I should say. That's the way I think they're going to go. You got to put some skin in the game.
Hello, guys. We have 2 Titans now. Yes, so I decided to get the Titan due last week. We'll see how long this lasts, because this is quite a lot of maintenance. Basically every day you need to do that.
I shave once a week. Every Sunday or Saturday, I shave my head. It lasts all week.
Yeah, mine lasts a day.
The Bald Brothers.
The Paul Brothers.
Bald Brothers.
I used to have much longer hair, but Mother Nature has gotten a hold of it. Gotten a hold of me, and
Mother Nature gets a hold of us all.
Thor for a long time.
What's that?
You were like Thor for a long time with that long hair.
Would validators earn Gala?
Down to your ass.
I guess we don't know a lot about validators. I think Nate was bringing it up.
We know nothing about validators.
They're going to be a thing, but we know that they will exist.
Yeah, it was it's not Fast. Sorry, Brink was doing his Thursday show, and it was about nodes, and they talked about validators, and I had asked a few people to put on there who's going to get to run a validator, and a couple people threw my name out there, and apparently they said, yeah, we want to get Forged a validator as soon as we can. So I'm definitely going to keep playing that card. Like, let me do it. Let me run a validator, man. Let me run it.
Well, I gotta.
To be honest, I don't care how much it earns. I just want to be able to run the validator to be able to.
Same here. I just want to run a Faz validator. That's it. I mean, well, it kind of sucks that if you would have to stake Gala. I mean, if so, maybe 32 Gala would be all that you'd need. That'd be nice. But,
maybe if Gala gets to $1,500, done.
There you go. No, I like the idea of validators. Well, I'd like to run one, and for the same reason, I'd like to support the network. I have assets on the network. I think that it would help my assets stay valuable.
T3RO says, I like the way Bitcoin nodes work. They validate transactions but don't earn anything. They just support and strengthen the network. Exactly. Like, shit, let me do that. Hell, that's why I'm building the collective, dude. Like, I'm building it to support the Gala network. I don't get any of the token from this. Like I said, there's no founders that get this token. Like, there's no percentage of this token that is given to founders.
That's what I wanted to clear up earlier, that this wasn't a typical project where the founders would allocate themselves tokens like every other damn crypto project out there.
Yeah, there is going to be revenue that's paid to employees that I'm currently paying right now. And by the way, I'm not one of those employees. I don't even pay myself. Just want to be perfectly clear. The money I'm getting out of this is absolutely zero. Right? If I earn some tokens by doing some things, then, or I buy tokens to be a part of this collective, then I have tokens. Like, I'm just going to be like everybody else, every part of the community. And I want to run a validator so I can support the network. I I got into Gala believing in what they were going to do. I love the idea of Web3 gaming, owning your assets, supporting a network where you have a fantastic gaming community that's going to come into play. And I want to be a part of that, pushing it forward. And that's what the collective is going to help me do too, and help people. So
that's really what it's about, is connecting with that community. There's a lot of people who wanted to see the things that you're putting forth in this creation of this entity, what I guess is the best way to put it. It's going to give you the experience without having to deal with a lot of the drama that goes on inside the Gala ecosystem itself. It gives you that exposure. And then eventually, from what you were saying earlier, it'll give you exposure to other platforms as people get interested in other platforms. So It gives you the ultimate choice. And from what Timmy has built over at the MOF right now, those people are having the time of their lives over there. I mean, it seems like they're having a really good time. They're doing treasure hunts, for cripe's sake. I mean, just because Gala isn't pumping something out, there's still plenty to do. That's huge.
They got a great group over there, man. They do. Like, it's a good gaming group for sure.
Well, okay. So now I want to get into where I was planning to help the Gala Collective, and I'm curious where the Gala Collective might go here. I certainly have thrown my hat in the ring that I want to be able to cover some Gala Collective kind of stuff. Is the Gala Collective planning to have any sort of channel of its own to show games that are going on at the moment? Or, I mean,
yeah, we want to have the full social media, full media aspect that's out there. We want to run tournaments. We want to show games. We want to showcase the games. We want to have people that are on there that are doing videos on these games to show how to play the game, how to maximize the game. What are some of the things that are going right? What is going wrong, right? We want all aspects of the gaming community that's going to be a part of it. And definitely, videos on all those things are going to be there. How to game, the gameplay itself. Like, you think about what a community is going to need, and we want it, right? We want that's there.
Yeah, we want the like and sub channel.
Done.
Playing
he
common
plays Townstar.
ground.
Does he even sleep? I think he plays Townstar literally 24/7.
Well, you go to his channel sometimes when he's live, and it's just an empty chair with a town and sheep going bah.
Yeah, he just walks away and comes back later.
Oh man,
literally no life.
Yeah, well, no, he's got a Townstar life, bro. He's got a Townstar life.
Well, he just
Townstar life.
Listen, no, so Lycan is not like some basement dwelling troll, right?
He's not? Wait, what?
No, so during the 5-hour Faz marathon, when you ditched us after an hour,
phone ran out of power. Sorry, man.
You lie so bad. At the end of that 5 hours, we had some video playing. Lycan graduated. He had been going to school. He graduated. He's now an instructor at the college he went to. He's teaching the classes that he learned while he was there. And he was up on stage talking to the students who were graduating. He is a very knowledgeable, prominent person in real life. He goes off the rails sometimes on his show, and he has a lot to say about, especially Gala, because he's very passionate. But the guy is not somebody who just lives in a basement like you would imagine, I guess. I don't know.
He's definitely a passionate guy, that's for sure. And the amount of Townstar time he puts into Townstar, and it shows, that the reason why he's so passionate with what they did with Townstar. I mean, It's a disappointment, honestly, with where Townstar's at. So,
yeah. What was that? The beginning of last year that they decided to shut everything down, or was it this year? I forget.
My year's
running. It's been over a year.
I don't even know.
Over a year.
And
what year is this?
And they're I don't know. It was like, okay, Town Coin was making a lot of money. Then it crashed because everybody's cashing out. Then they're like, oh, we're gonna fix it for a short time or something like that. Then it'll be back better than ever. And basically crickets. And since then, well, not crickets. They've introduced a ton of non-earning NFTs. I think they want to completely flood the market with non-earning NFTs so that the earning ones are like the vast minority of them or something.
Could be. I don't even know. It's a different name now. Supposedly they don't even call it the Town Star game anymore. It's whatever.
They still call it Town Star. They have a mode called Common Ground or something.
Oh, I thought they were changing the whole game to Common Ground.
They renamed the whole game.
They did?
I mean, it's not going to change in your actual game wallet area, like the apps, the store, or the game app.gala.games. It's not going to change there for at least another year. Just like Gala Chain didn't change until recently. So
you can still find Jiri on some of their stuff.
Look, this is I think actually the collective at a point, if we grow enough and we get big enough, we can actually help with a lot of this stuff that's kind of falling through the cracks on the Gala side, right? Again, I'm not building this because I'm upset with Gala. I'm building this because I think we can help Gala, right? There are ways that the community can put forth different things to help them. Let's go to Townstar real quick. Hold on. If you go back to when Townstar was still going, Family Man put together a full paper. I published it on ForgedInCrypto, the medium, and it was all about different tokenomics possibilities that could add to the game itself, so you didn't have this complete suck on the economy. They never added anything in there, right? So why not? Like, what was the point there? So with that, if you have a big enough voice, that was just Family Man. If you have Family Man and you have 10,000 people in the collective supporting Family Man and that actual, proposal, if they like it, that has weight behind it. Not that Gala has to change, but if they show that there's some validity there, it can help. Like, it doesn't have to be negative for them. I think it's very positive.
The same thing happened with OMS. A bunch of us worked on a proposal to put forth, and they praised it up and down, left and right, and then tucked it under their desk mat and moved on. And that was frustrating. So to your point, when you have a large group of people like that, now you're not going to get everybody on board, right? We learned that with the node vote, right?
Yeah,
you're not going to have but you have an semblance of these people where obviously a majority wants a certain thing that will cause leverage to be able to get maybe some things done that the community wants. It would give a voice to the developer. The developer doesn't have to go through Gala Games to get this information. The collective can provide it directly to the developer. There's not a requirement that Gala Games has to approve anything that the collective does. And that in itself is huge.
My thought is that the
developers are going to want that to make partnerships with Gala Collective.
My thought is that the Gala Collective is basically going to do the things that Gala is not going to do. That's it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we will support in areas that we can, like, to move these things forward and make the games, make the community, happy and push it forward as much as we can. Right.
Very cool.
I
think this cleared up a lot today.
I think we got a lot of good information.
What do you guys think in the comments? In the comments, did this help today to clear up a little about what the collective is about and what people can do in it? I want to hear some results.
I think the Gala Collective needs a catchphrase or something that they can say in one sentence what it does.
I'll let somebody else figure that out.
And at the same time, ForgedInCrypto, you need to have a shorter handle.
Literally, you keep saying I'm going to keep making it longer.
I was giving you crap. No,
Forged in fuck Faz in crypto.
I'm happy fun Faz now. No, I think
FazGasm?
I think the Gala Collective does need some sort of short moniker to give an idea of what it does. But that's It's just part of the process. I'm sure something will come up eventually.
Oh yeah, for sure. We got we're like I said, we have a whole bunch of marketing stuff that we want to put together to start getting the word out more. I haven't really done much right now with the testing the waters. Even my minimum goal, to be completely upfront, is 150 grand. 150 grand allows us enough roadway to move through 2 years of expenses. That's with not earning any type of income, right? And we can acquire assets in a secondary way. So if we can do that, if we can get to that, we can move the collective forward and start to build it and show people what can happen. So
okay, so something about the collective. I was having a nice conversation or argument with Old Man Smithers on Crypto Faz Discord today, and my burn down is that people got very interested in how Gala worked and what Gala did once they started losing money. And my thought is, if people start buying into the Gala Collective by purchasing these revenue shares, and the Gala Collective goes nowhere, what happens then? Are people going to get? I mean, this is a security after all. It has to follow securities laws. Are people going to have some recourse? What if they start losing money?
Well, you're saying losing money by the fact that their shares or the revenue itself does not we're not
materialize.
We're not providing any guarantees. Just like anything else, we have to make revenue to be able to distribute revenue. So, if let's say everybody decides we want to get all spider tanks because it's the greatest game ever. We put in all in spider tanks. We don't buy anything else. It's all spider tanks, and they shut down spider tanks, and so we have these worthless assets here, and we just totally wasted it. That's what the collective did. The recourse that they have, like these people that are buying in, they're buying in to know that they are a part of the decision making, right? It's not me making the decision.
I guess okay. So Gala tried that too when they started. They tried telling us that if you just got a node, you'd be part of the decision making. How can we be sure that we will be a part of the decision making with the Gala Collective?
So we're actually, all of our voting is going to be on chain. So the voting process itself will all be on chain. We're going to publicly post everything, all of our financials, assets, the wallets that are there, everything that we're going to have
with the questions, because Gala Games would come up with the questions for their node votes, and you could see that they had some leading questions too.
For sure.
No, never.
So again, the people that are in positions and I don't really call them like a CEO or CEO, but whatever these responsibility positions, right? They're the ones that are going to end up posting said questions. These questions they're going to collect from the actual community themselves. If that person is not doing what that community wants, in the fact that that's there, we do have emergency voting as well that can be done by the other members that are appointed within the collective. So if, say, Titan gets voted in, and he's the main guy that's putting the questions out, right? Yes. He's there, but it's all like, should Titan get a raise? And that's the only question. And it's like, everybody votes yes, obviously. So he gives himself a raise, and he's like, oh, what's going on? And the next time it's, oh, should Titan get another raise? Yes. Oh, God. Well, Titan's fucking up. So there is an emergency vote that can happen before the 12-month time frame to vote Titan out, right? That can be put forth by the other people that are in charge of, that have been put in charge by the people that vote. So again, we're giving transparency, which is not done right now at Gala. We're giving transparency internally, both on all financials that are there, all voting mechanisms, all going to be on chain. I mean, the financials aren't going to be on chain. I mean, outside of the wallets.
Is all this stuff written down somewhere? Is there a site that has all these bylaws and all these things written down?
It's in the Git book. If you go to ForgedInCrypto.com/collective, or the link that has the collective on there, there's some videos, and there is a link to the Git book itself, which shows all the tokenomics, shows the how the voting mechanisms are going to work and that type of stuff. So you can dive into that. It's fairly lengthy, but yes, a lot of information there.
I'll get all these links and things we're talking about posted in the show notes. It'll take me a few minutes after the show to do that, so don't expect the minute you hit quit that it's going to be there. But it'll be there, and we're also going to post it and pin it in the Faz Radio channel over at CFA.
Yeah, and really, ForgedInCrypto.com. You'll find it there. So you'll actually find the Faz Radio on there too. There's a link for that. So
nice.
As well as FazRadio.com. You'll find it. Faz Radio, FazRadio.com.
Oh, I won't get that. I
had to put in a Faz Radio plug there.
Where's the nerd note sign? Oh wait, I'm not paying you anymore. That's right.
Yeah, Faz.
What do we get?
I thought you were just gonna put it up there for free for me, dude. Come on, man.
It was about 8 seconds after the last payment. Faz is like, "Get it off."
Exactly. I thought you wanted friends. I thought you wanted friends, Faz.
We give you a few free plugs after that. Titan has this whole shtick that he did.
Oh, dude, I'm giving you shit. You guys are good.
Well, maybe we'll have to do some Gala Collective stuff, but we won't be paying for that, or we won't be paid for that. We'll be enjoying doing that.
Well, there will be. I mean, advertising stuff will be there, right? If there are content creators that are out there that we want to do videos for us, we may pay them in Gala the GG token. Like, hey, we'll give you some GG token. We'll give you X amount to do some videos for us. So we need some advertising. Again, we don't want people to do it'd be great if they just help us out as a community, but there's people that are going to put time and effort into things, and they're going to need to be rewarded for that 100%. And we want to reward them for that as much as we can. So I'll give you one GG token per episode. Put Gala Collective link right up at the top, right up there.
I'd do that. Okay, sure. Sold. It's only gonna be 21 million of these buggers. Might as well get as many as I can.
21 million.
He's gonna have me firing up 21 million shows. Watch.
Well, see, you're
literally gonna be doing
Faz Radio is now on 7 times a day.
Well, it's not something that Nate, I don't think, realizes what he just said is we got a lot of shorts. How many shorts do you do a week now?
Yeah, right. I'm gonna slap it right in the center.
Did I say views? Did I say views or just what did I say?
You said put it up there. You said put it up there. I'm thinking per show, per short.
Oh, I was gonna give it per view, but that's fine, just per show.
Now wait a minute. I'm gonna have to get a hold of somebody over at Gala Games to find out who they paid for all that engagement, and I'll get them to come get the views.
Come get the views.
By the way, I'm not the say-all, so me saying it here doesn't mean it's a go for the collective.
The collective didn't vote on it.
I like how you backed out of that one.
There's my out.
It's okay.
Well, we got to get people to the collective first. So get everybody who's watching this needs to at least go read everything. We'd love to have everybody pop over and become a part of the collective. I'm going to be a part of the collective. I know that. And go to Seed Starter, indicate your interest, put up what you think you would want to contribute towards that goal. Hopefully it gets well above the 150,000 so that this can get off to a great start. Just like we've talked about in the past, there's never a guarantee on anything. We just talked about that, right? But you have to believe in the process. And we've seen a couple processes over the course of our time in crypto. Faz continually childs me still about the Black Eye Galaxy fiasco. We don't think so this time. We have Nate. We have the partners in the MOF. We have Family Man. We got Betty on board, of course, as part of what you're trying to put forward. I think that the minds behind this are really going to take this in a good direction. I don't think there'll be rough patches. I have no doubt, right? Because this thing's, of course, it's like a big gelatin ball right now. And every week it gets, a little more formed, and pretty soon that gravity is going to catch, right?
Look, and again, I want to be as transparent as possible. So you got questions? Ask me questions, please.
That is true. People people pepper Nate with questions. Do it. He answers them. I've peppered him with questions about shit before.
As best as I can. As long as they're not from Faz. Like, Faz confuses me sometimes.
He doesn't know how to ask questions in a normal way.
Well, I think he was speaking Chinese, and I don't speak Mandarin. I was a little confused. It was like, huh? I felt like I was in a different planet. Anyways, I digress. It was good talking to you guys today.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on again. Love seeing you on the show, man. You got to come back more.
Give me back, man. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Nate.
I'll hold on for a second.